what's up, everyone? This is Harold Sullivan in the Sullivan Project podcast. Don't have the regular opening. Might be getting it back soon, but maybe not. But that's fine. We're going to continue on and carry on, right? And go forward and fighters fight and all that good stuff. Hey, Alexa, what time is it? Alexa, what time is it?
The time is 7:19 p.m.
Okay. Well, we got all kinds of devices going off. Yeah, the Google's not working right now, so I can't play the original opening. So I'm gonna try to get that soon. If you want to be on the show, the Sullivan Project podcast, you can hit us up at Harold Sullivan 78 on YouTube, Harold Sullivan 78 on TikTok, Harold Sullivan period 35 on Facebook, and you can actually call in the show, leave a message, or if you have questions, if you want to be on the show, anybody, anybody can be on here. Uh, we could do Zoom, we could just do audio, video, whatever. Uh, get your story out. Everyone has a story. You can't judge a book by its cover. And we're all about love and light here. But we talk about everything metaphysical, uh, supernatural, paranormal, spiritual, and then movies, sports, entertainment, art. Sorry, I keep closing my eyes. I'm blind. I went blind almost 2 years. So in June, it'll be 2 years. And I was born with an autoimmune disease. And I'm only about 4.5 feet tall at the most, about 75 pounds. And I'm in a power wheelchair. And I'm almost 45. And I forgot what Alexa said, what time it was. Alexa, what time is it? Hey, Alexa, what time is it?
The time is 7:20 p.m.
Okay, 7:19 is what it said, I believe. Jesus. I've been having a lot going on lately. But we just did an episode with Chris. We're going to upload that soon. And then we'll upload this one. This one we're going to call False History. We're going to talk a lot about history of the world and different things. And see if I have anything else I need to catch up on here. Oh, well, yeah, on my TikTok and my YouTube, you can check out music that I'm making. There's some audio trailers for audio stories that I'm writing. I'd like to write with other people currently. Just because you're blind or disabled or whatever don't mean you can't do stuff, you know. And there's older projects on there. There's paranormal movies and videos, investigations that I've done, old art projects. I'm currently doing stuff like essential oils and some jewelry I'm making. So if anybody wants to find out about that, let me know. And I appreciate it if you can share stuff, rate it, do the likes, whatever, and help people. I got some celebrities. Let's mention some celebrities that have done things for me. I got a couple wrestlers: Kurt Angle, Mankind, Mick Foley, uh, from All Elite Wrestling, Chris Statlander, and then I actually have the Crypt Keeper from Tales from the Crypt. He's done a trailer for me. Another trailer. I've had a couple of guests. Sam Smith from Supernatural, the original Mary Winchester. Who else? Chong, Tommy Chong was a guest on the Sullivan Project podcast. So check that out on TikTok and YouTube, Harold Sullivan 78. And I want to bring up some people, angels that have passed on, people that I know that were close to me. And there's over 30. And I don't want to forget anybody, but we're all going to be together one day. So they know they're all in my memory. We're all connected. And there is no forgetting. So a couple, let's see, relatives, just grandma, mom and dad, Uncle Butch, a nephew, a few other uncles, a stepdad, a stepmom, my dad. Did I say my dad already? Jesus. Those are just in relatives. And then I got so many friends, Anthony, Jimmy, Norman, Jared. Oh my gosh. Uh, there's women, Heidi, Johanna, Tara, I believe. I have so many people that passed away close to me. And I don't forget, Grandma. I say Grandma already. She's most recently. Uh, So these are just people. I mean, just shout out. They're not forget, and we're all gonna be together one day. So, uh, so yeah, let me talk about the false history part here. Since pretty much, oh, my hip is still bothering me. It's bothered me for the last few months, but that's why I have to keep leaning over. I'm in pain, but that's the new wheelchair. I got to get used to it. That's what they said. It's not going to be exactly the same measurement as the one I was sitting in for 5 years. Alexa, what time is it? Hey Alexa, what time is it?
The time is 7:24 p.m.
Okay. Well, that's pretty good. So we're going to get into the false history there. Oh, actually, let's talk about more psychic stuff because I hadn't had any much happen in the last 10 days. I haven't been listening to my Bible because of it, because of no Wi-Fi and this stuff going on around here. And like I said, I got to get that on soon to Google there or whatever. I'm still trying to figure out a way to play because it's Google and Amazon can't play Google. So uh, I just been things been getting to me. I've been overloaded, and then I haven't really been feeling too much stuff, right? And but yesterday when I went out, I knew what shirt I had on, even though I couldn't see it because I'm blind, right? So that's called a no-no, and I'm having these things. Maybe my body's adjusting, but I just knew it, right? That last night I got to listen to We're All Psychic, which I've been on before. We're All Psychic podcast. It was called Harold's Interview, uh, and it was called Vessel. And then I did the Sagittarius horoscope episode. And I'm also part of the Quantum Leap podcast, so go check that out. It's on your local, or it's on all your podcast devices. I'm a producer, so listen to my name at the end. Listen for my name at the end, Harold Sullivan. And I should be on there soon with a video, with an interview. So I'm doing things and trying to get this going and be part of other podcasts, have other guests on. I want to be on. I'm going to try to be on We're All Psychic again soon. But last night I was able to play that on Amazon, so I listened to 5 episodes. I don't know how many they done. They don't usually do, but maybe one or two at the most in the week, or a week. But usually they haven't been doing too many at all lately. And I missed about 10 days. All of a sudden, there's like 5 or 6 podcasts that they uploaded. I don't know if they just had them and did them all, but so I listened to like 5 straight We're All Psychic podcasts last night, and like the last one actually had a psychic from another podcast, a psychic story on it, who I've talked to before. So I've talked to both of them, both of the podcasts, and got readings from both. And it's neat how there's synchronicity. I did not expect to hear one meeting the other. So we're all coming together. And if I could get with them and we could all get on together, oh my goodness, the vibration. But it raised my vibration. Okay. Now let me explain this story about the T-shirt I had on yesterday. All right. It was a T-shirt that Danny got me. So if Danny's listening, Danny, my friend, who lives in Detroit, we used to play hockey together. Go check out. There's some podcasts with Danny. He asked me to be his baby's godfather, and he sent me a T-shirt a few months back, and it says "Level Up" to Godfather on it, right? And so what's neat about that is at the time I was listening to a podcast where a man who was speaking about his son had passed away in a bad accident. His son had came back as a spirit guide and was guiding him to write this book. And the son would explain to his dad that his dad was leveling up, which means you're learning here so that when you get on to the next level, you'll be higher. Your vibration, you'll be ahead. Actually, kind of. So the guy kept saying leveling up, and then I get this shirt level up. That's just if you look for these things, those are signs that let you know you're where you're supposed to be, or these are just little signs of things. So that's the whole story behind it. I knew what shirt it was yesterday. I was like, I felt like I'm wearing a baby shirt. Uh, Abriella Remedy is her name. Isn't that beautiful? Abriella Remedy Vaughn. That's my goddaughter. Please send her prayers. She's gonna be a year old in September. And so I knew I had this shirt on. But anyway, I listened to the podcast last night. That gave me some energy. On five straight of them. I was up all night listening to five, those and a couple other things, and then today, all right, I start feeling better, having more of my psychic, whatever. I could just feel more in tune or more in peace with God, more clear. And let's see what happened first. Oh my! Earlier, okay, when I woke up, all right, I was kind of in and out. This is usually when it happens. I'll just be in like a little trancey thing, or I'll channel or whatever. I'll be kind of falling, but not quite asleep, right? When I woke up, I saw my shoulder. I looked down and I could see. I almost started to cry. Ooh, I almost started to cry. I swear to God, in front of everybody, and I don't do that, and I'm not doing it in a bad way. But I looked down, and in my blindness, I could see shoulder and my arm almost moving, and but the lower half of my arm was invisible. Oh my gosh! But it was white, almost like an X-ray. Like so, I'm starting to, and I hadn't, you know, it just spiked all of a sudden because I hadn't been feeling lately that I was, and I hadn't been seeing that blue aura as much or whatever. So this, or earlier today, this is what happened. I woke up, I saw that, and I was moving my body around, and I could actually see it. And then, but it was weird because the lower half of my arm, I could just see the outline of it, like it was the predator. It was invisible. So I'm seeing through my body, like into it. And now, one time months ago, when I woke up in the middle of the night, I actually looked down and I could see it looked like green going through my body, like veins, almost like in a leaf. But like I could see something inside my body, like my veins were they were green, And I moved my arms, and they were, and it was like, you know, you couldn't see fingers or nothing, but it was like green, just veins inside me. I don't know, but just for a second or two. And then earlier, I see that, right? And then after that, start seeing all kinds of things in front of me, and my eyes are open, but it's in my third eye. And I've done this before, where I've actually seen 3D stuff and little images and pictures and like stories going on. I'm not seeing nothing, but I'm like seeing things. But lots of times it's like a laser image, or it's like there's no definition. There's just the outline, and it's beautiful colors. And earlier there was like all kinds of things going on, and I felt like it was angels or God or something. And I started to tear because the warmness came over me, and I'm literally seeing, and I'm blind. But it was like I said, it wasn't perfectly clear. And then I started to see red after that. And it almost looked like it was something like gonna be there, but it just didn't make it. Like I'm getting more focused, and I haven't been seeing red. And it wasn't a bad red; it was like a light red. So that's a red, and I believe I've seen green, blue, and maybe like a white or gold or yellowish. So these are all aura colors. And earlier, I mean, for a few minutes, this went on to where I'm like watching this show in front of me, and almost crying because I never seen nothing like this when I had eyes. Like this is not, and I'm not even thinking of whatever these things are, and they're not something I can actually. They're not coming into focus to where I can say this is exactly this, but it's stuff, and they're just carrying on and doing things, and it's amazing. I can't even. I wish I could like someone could understand what that is or tell me, or I don't know how to identify or relate. And we are all psychic, but since I've been blind, that things are a little bit different. Hey Alexa, what time is it? Hey Alexa, what time is it?
It's 7:33
I don't
p.m.
even know if I have to say uh, hey or whatever in front of it because I'm not used to it. I'm used to the Google, and you have to say that. So that's 15 minutes, right? But yeah, it's neat. So I was seeing that earlier. If anybody experiences this stuff or can tell me, it's like, I mean, sometimes I do see full 3D. Like I did have a Looney Tunes like episode that went on a few months ago for maybe a couple seconds in my mind, and I saw the characters plain as day just carrying on in my mind, and I could identify that. But most of the time, it's things moving around or walking or flying or just doing little things, and I can't identify exactly what they are, but I can see them there. and they're there because when I look around, it's, they're there. It's not like moving with my eyes. Also, a few months back when I was seeing other things, I was seeing radar images. Literally, I saw the radar thing going around and around, and it was like something beaming into my head. I don't know if I'm, what do you call it, when you remote viewing, but I don't know how to do it on purpose. And I know I can astral projection, and I know I I time travel, or I'm dreaming of the past, like past lives. All this has gone on since I've been blind, and I recognized it when I was a kid, and I just shut it off or whatever. So it's just pretty crazy, man, to be seeing 3D, like beautiful bright colored stuff, but it's drawn like there's no color in it. I mean, there's no, it's not filled in. It's just like somebody drew, like with these bright crayons that were glowing on a dark background, and they're moving around and stuff. It's so awesome. Thank you, Jesus. I don't know what that lady. Maybe that's what the last lady I had is sunshine readings told me that I had something to do with colors, and I told her I love colors, and she said I'm going to have something to do with colors. But I'm seeing these beautiful colors, and I just love it. Yeah, I'm glad to see something. So let's get to the false history, right? We could go all the way back to the Bible days, and I'm not saying there's no God or any of that. Because I mean, God, we are God, is what I believe. We're all God. We're all connected. It's all like Carl Jung said. It's the connection, collective, collective conscious, whatever you want to call it, and everything affects everything else. So uh, we have the false history goes back to the Bible being edited, 14 books being taken out, Constantine taking parts of religion and making one, and saying this is what you got to do or you're prosecuted, persecuted, whatever. And that's wrong. Even people in the Bible were prosecuted and persecuted for wrong, or for nothing, and for just wrong reasons. And everything we've been taught since then is false. And everything that goes on now is made, like I said, Prison Planet. I've done a couple podcasts called Prison Planet. It's to keep us in the place and keep us under control. And so if you go back to, we'll start, most of this is going to be about aliens, okay? So go back to 47 Roswell, when an alien flying saucer crashed in Roswell, New Mexico, 1947. It was July 4th or July 5th when it went down. A couple of days later, uh, the officer, military officer, who was in charge, Jesse Marcel, I believe, took a picture. Uh, they had him take a picture with a weather balloon saying that he made a mistake, uh, and it was a weather balloon. And that's what started the cover up. A couple of years before that, we had the World of Worlds radio show. Uh, Orson Welles, who, if people don't know, go check it out on YouTube, and you'll understand what happened. It's only about an hour or so long, maybe 2 hours, but it was a live radio show. At the very beginning, they explained that this is going to be an adapted play of the book World of Worlds by H.G. Wells, which I've listened to the audiobook, and it's very good. Uh, and they actually have a sequel to it that somebody was commissioned to write years later, and it's okay. It's called Massacre of Mankind. For anybody's interested, I have lots of audiobooks. If you want to know any I recommend, hit me up or contact me in old lingo. So what was I gonna say? Aliens, yeah. The radio show came on. People tuned in late, thought it was a real newscast that the aliens had landed, and caused a panic, millions of people, and just disaster. So in 1947, when they really did crash, right away they had to cover it up because the world could not handle it. I mean, can they handle it now? If the government just came out, and they are releasing stuff. A couple of years ago, in the COVID bill thing, uh, what's his name? Trump slid this little thing under saying that in the bill that in the future, from now on, any kind of unidentified flying object, which they changed to unidentified aerial phenomenon now, has to be reported to the public. So they've been reporting these things ever since. Like if they're slowly getting ready to let us know that we're not alone, even though we all know we're not anyway. because even the Bible talks about angels or things coming down. If you go with Ezekiel's will, there's a whole book called Chariots of the Gods, which explains that uh, the whirlwind and the clouds and all that in the Bible, people got taken up in the cloud and they got taken up in the wind and they went here and there. And it's actually UFOs, and the aliens are angels that come down and they help mankind get along and get better. And they're still here and they're trying to help us keep peace. But we're just killing each other and screwing up the whole thing for the whole universe. It's not just our energy. The earth goes out, the energy goes out into everything, and it affects everything else. And we're just destroying each other, and they're gonna have the earth is gonna be done, and we're gonna have to go. We're gonna go somewhere else and destroy another planet. And Mars is what they're saying. We used to be Earth. Okay, now they're saying they found what is it? Methane on which proves life on Mars, and it goes up in the summer and down in the winter, which is what happens on Earth. So now they're proving that there's life on Mars right now. All this stuff is fact checked, so go check it out on the internet. And then so they're planning on going there if they haven't already been there. Because, like I said, they got stuff on the moon and they've been living on the moon, and they're just now telling us they're going to go up there and build this thing. But they've been living underground on the moon. Just like there's some kind of giant radar up there and some kind of satellites, and most people believe there's a crashed flying saucer on the UFO or UFO on the moon. And even Buzz Aldrin's come out, and a lot of other astronauts saying they didn't go to the moon the first time. That landing was fake, and I knew it when I saw it years later. That was just made, in a hangar somewhere with grass, salt on the or grass, sand on the ground, and it was like in a movie studio. You know what I mean? And I made fan films, so I know how movies are made. And so that was fake too. I mean, all that stuff was fake, false history. You know, 19 a couple of years later, we had the Battle of Los Angeles, where they shut down the UFOs came and shut down the military installation, and the military couldn't fire on them. And 54, I think it was in 52, and in 54 or 57, there was an attack and a sub. Well, they're trying to say that or not a sub, uh, a big ship was cut in half by a flying saucer. I don't know, because I don't believe that they're here to hurt us. But maybe there are some, or maybe they just fired back. I don't know. I don't have all the answers. You know what I mean? But I just know that we live in false history, because everything. Hey Alexa, what time is it? Alexa, what time is it?
It's 7:42 p.m.
We're gonna get ready to go here in a minute. Yeah. So false history. I gotta remember where my mind was here. False history. When the government's not telling us. Jesus. Uh, let's see. Well, they did recover bodies from that in 1947 from Roswell, and they made stuff like where do you think cell phones and all these touch things and all this other technology came? If you think about from 1947 to now, how far we come from before that, it's called backwards engineering. And I do believe they have UFOs they've taken our technology and put it in there, so or taken theirs and put it in our stuff, so they can fly these things around. So some of them are not alien from another planet. They're actually our guys flying these things, just like in the movies. You know what I mean? Okay, here we go. So the Earth, see, our DNA they trace back like so many, I don't know, 8 billion years, and the Earth is only 4. So that right there proves that we didn't come from the Earth. And then our DNA, our energy is not created or destroyed. So Albert Einstein says that. So that means our energy didn't come from this galaxy, because this galaxy's only been here so long, right? So that right there proves we're from somewhere else as well. Now they have a meteor that they found like in the 80s or 90s, and I'm sure they found some before, that actually has the whatever that's called, the microorganisms that create life now. So they've actually found this on something that came from space. So this proves that life comes from space. And there's a metal, pieces of metal. Art Bell was shipped years ago. He had a podcast and then a show, Paranormal. And there's a lady that has this stuff now. And the government took pieces, and she still has pieces. But they believe it's metal from one of these ships, right? These alien ships. And the way it's layered, it's like 99.95 aluminum that we can't even make on Earth. But it's layered with these different metals that we can't even bind together here because it wouldn't stick. But yet this is possible and this exists. So these are little things that are coming out. And yeah, Star Seed. Yeah, if you look into that, it's kind of like, we were seeded here, and then we were taught we weren't progressing enough, and scientists even say that we are missing or we have one less chromosome than the animals, or one more, and that I think it's one less chromosome than the monkeys and stuff. So we have not evolved. Something that altered us, that made us be able to talk and communicate the way we can, smart, just like in the book in the Bible, the tree of knowledge, how they ate and became smart. A lot of those stories sound similar to something coming down and helping mankind. The Bible stories could be taken many different ways. So, and that Ancient Aliens show, it talks about that a lot. So, we have a false history. There were as many as 7 or 8 different types of man at one time, not just one caveman that evolved. And what's up with the tailbone? Did they think we had a tail at one time? Oh, that's so, like I said, it's all screwed up. False history. But remember, love's a choice and so is to hate. And we'll be back soon. Be the light.